think of Lotus and you think of a brand with an amazing motorsport heritage, and they make some fantastic road cars too. But we've missed them in Ireland for some time. That's why we've travelled here to the UK, to Hethel, to the home of Lotus, to try out these two amazing cars. You will recognise this car, which is the Elise, which sold in reasonably small numbers during the Celtic Tiger years. What you won't know is this model, which is the Evora, which is the latest model, and this is the supercharged version with a 3.5 litre V6, putting out 350 horsepower. We're going to start with the car that I'm more familiar with, the Elise. Previously in Ireland you could get two versions, the R and the S, and now there's one version. The 2011 Elise has a 1.6 litre petrol engine, putting out 134 horsepower in a car that weighs just 876 kilograms. Never been in an Elise, you're in for a real treat. It's an absolutely fantastic car to drive. It's been around for 16 years and everyone has just got better and better. It's widely been regarded as the best driver's car in the world, and you can kind of see why. Because it's an absolute joy to drive. This chassis is fantastic. It's aluminium, it's incredibly lightweight, and you might think that a 1.6 litre engine with just 134 horsepower isn't a lot these days, but in a car this light, it feels electric. Yes, it is very cramped in here, especially for a big lad like me, but because you sit so low down in this car, you feel really close to the action. But the real reason we're here is to try the Evora S. So we've been in the Elise and it was a very hard edge car, but this is the Evora S and it's very, very different. So what do you need to know about the Evora S? Well, it's the gentleman's Lotus, if you like. It's a car for people who've evolved from the Elise and they want something a little bit more grown up, but still they want something that's powerful, and this one certainly has power. 345 brake horsepower thanks to a 3.5 litre supercharged V6. You still get that amazing aluminium chassis, which is incredibly light, which makes this car light overall. It weighs less than 1,500 kilograms. Something of an exclusive actually, we're on Lotus's brand new test track. This has only been opened up in the last couple of days, so we're the first press anywhere in the world to drive on this track. The steering is absolutely out of this world. It's so delicate. You just place it wherever you want and it just goes. Lotus reckon that this is a proper rival to the 911, and do you know what, I was pretty sceptical, but after a couple of laps on this track, do you know what, they have a point. This car is brilliant. Lotus was founded in 1952 by engineer Colin Chapman. His son Clive now runs classic Team Lotus. Clive and his team are fully committed to the preservation and promotion of the Team Lotus racing history, and we got a chance to meet Clive at his brilliant workshop. Tell us a little bit about classic Team Lotus. When was it founded?
Back in the 90s. My family's got quite a collection of cars and we needed to look after them, and at the same time we thought we should offer our services to other owners around the world. Since then, historic motorsport has grown incredibly in popularity and we're getting more and more busy.
Tell us about this car behind you. It's incredible.
Yeah, this is a Lotus Type 18. It's a Formula 1 car from the 60s, and it's a very good example of the Lotus approach: lightweight, stiff chassis.
This is an incredible machine. What is this?
It's Graham Hill's Monaco winning car from 68 and 69.
And how long has that been in the family?
Yeah, since the team stopped racing it in 1970, it's been kept in the barn at home.
And there's a story behind the livery on it.
Yeah, the first car to have sponsorship, and suddenly the Lotuses went from green to Ferrari red overnight and caused quite a lot of unrest at the time, but my father wasn't bothered.
And did that cause a bit of controversy?
It did, yeah, because people felt that racing green was the British racing colour. But his attitude was, look, if I can get money painting it a different colour, then I will, because I'll go quicker and win more races.
We're here in the workshop of classic Team Lotus, and this amazing car is Emerson Fittipaldi's Lotus 72, which really was the precursor of modern day Formula One cars. You can see by the wedge shape at the front. It's just absolutely stunning. A car I remember from Scale Electrics years ago. While Lotus has an undoubted racing pedigree in the past, they are also a massive presence in modern motorsport. Gavin Kershaw is engineering manager for Lotus Motorsport, and he oversees the development of some of the modern racing cars. Gavin, we saw from some of the old cars earlier on and what sort of impact they had on the modern cars we have today. Again, how will this motorsport venture impact on the future cars?
I suppose we're at the high end of technology in motorsport, so everything we're learning gets put down onto our road cars, and also it gives a customer base. You know, if we're out there doing a 24-hour race in an Evora and we can say it's got 90% of its road car components, they're not got any worries about their road cars. We now come through into the Evora GT4 build area, which obviously you just experienced the Evora.
Yeah, it was our first try of the Evora, and we kind of thought it would make a good race car, so it was obviously a natural evolution, was it?
From concept, it was always designed to be, you know, a racing pedigree, same as the Elise. The technology we use is effectively motorsport based. So when the car was designed, it was always built in mind to be a racing car with the aerodynamics. So what we took is, we took a perfectly good platform, changed the bodywork slightly, get a little bit more aerodynamics, but it's fundamentally still about 90% the road car there. Same chassis, wishbones, everything there.
So how long does it take to build from start to finish?
4 weeks, and we don't use the production line at all because they're busy doing their own thing.
Right.
We actually take the bare chassis, build them up here, and 4 weeks each line stage, and then they're track tested and then shipped off to their race team.
They say that to move forward you really need to know where you've been, and these modern Lotuses are very much cars that look back to the heritage laid down by founder Colin Chapman, and this Lotus Evora S is a prime example. I think he'd be rather proud.